Hiya, darlings. This is Hololive English Advent's Devilish Diva, the one and only Nerissa Ravencroft, here today thinking about ENRECO. I have a little snack with me. It is macadamia nuts. I heard that they're supposed to be really, really good for you. And for some reason, today, sorry, I'll quick fill you in. I had a burger today. Why? Because I was at a convention in Poland this morning. And I had a meet and greet after my panel with Kiara. And everyone was so nice. Everyone was so amazing. And I got asked many times what my favorite burger is. And I was like, you know, I gotta eat a burger today. So I had a burger. I had some onion rings. It was great. But then I didn't eat anything else. So I went and I got 10,000 steps. And then the fact I didn't really eat anything other than a burger and onion rings and a malt today kind of caught up to me. And I was like, I need some nutrients. So macadamia nuts are filled with healthy fats that are good. 10K, that's good. Yeah, sorry. Before we start talking about ENRECO, let me yap a little bit about my day. Since the walking stream, I've been getting 10,000 steps a day on my walking pad. And what I've been doing is I've been picking a movie and turning it on. And just watching and walking a movie, usually after my streams, but today I've already done it. I need to take better care of myself. So yeah, anyway. Yes. Also, I saw someone comment about the convention. Thank you so much for having us. It was so much fun. I hope more European countries will bring Hololive to them. Which movies? I'm trying to watch stuff I never have watched before. So I watched Death Becomes Her. Last night, I watched Road to El Dorado. I'd never seen that movie. It's pretty good. And then today, I watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And I came out of it thinking that was a lot of fun, but also, is that really how it ends? I wanted to watch Men in Tights. So I had opened it when I opened up El Dorado. When I saw El Dorado, I also saw Men in Tights. I was like, I've never seen this. I always wanted to see it. So I opened it, but then at midnight that same day that I chose to watch El Dorado instead, it became not free. So I missed my chance. I missed my chance. Ohayo gozaimasu, Nipponjin. Anyway, sorry. Just one more nut. I'll close my macadamia nuts. I had some chips too. And I had too many cucumbers. So we're eating good. What did you think of Chell? She was very sexy. Y'all grew up with that? She was hot. You can never get too many nuts. You're right. I love nuts. Nuts are delicious. They're full of healthy oils that are good for your body. They're kind of like avocados in that way. Not all nuts, but a lot of nuts. Some nuts have a lot of protein. Overall, very good for you. I'm not going to say what I wanted to just say. I'm just gonna stop while I'm on top. I love nuts, lots of nuts. Love having nuts inside me. In my stomach, of course. Because that's what you do, is you chew and eat nuts. Come on, say it. Stop goading me. Anyway. Hello. Welcome to the opening of this Nerissa Ravencroft stream. As you can see, I'm wearing the ENRECO cape because we are here to talk about ENRECO. I'm very excited. I'm curious if you guys have any questions as well. About anything. I feel like you guys have already watched it, right? So, feel free if you have questions, I guess. The best thing to do might be, I'm gonna open up Hololizer. If you have a question, send a super chat, please. Because otherwise they're gonna disappear. I'm not going to see them. I'm gonna just like pick a random one. So let's maybe attempt to do it that way. Otherwise I'll just yap. So if you have a burning question, that's what you can do. For people who want spoilers for season 3, I cannot give those to you. Alas, I don't have the ability because I don't know. One of the really fun things that I really like about ENRECO, there's a lot for me personally that I love about it, but one of the things that I think is really fantastic, especially, is that we really do go into it not really knowing 100% what's going to happen. So, for example, for chapter 2, we had to record for the animation beforehand, obviously, because people have to animate it. So I knew near the end that I was low-key gonna be evil. And I kind of wanted to go that direction anyway, because I don't know, apparently some people don't think so, but I tried to be a little bit of I was mostly just having fun during season 1. Because I didn't really know what to expect. I'd never really done roleplay before. I didn't know how much other people were going to go into it. I was really, really nervous. So I just was like, oh yeah, I'll just be me, but in a different world. And then like everyone else was doing fun stuff. And I was like, no, I made the wrong decision. Everyone's having such a good time. And like, Gigi is gone at then. Elizabeth is Lady Bloodflame. And she's like really into this night thing. I made a mistake. Why did I have to remember some of my memories? You know, and I was like, I want to retcon all of this. And so I did for chapter 2 by making Nerissa, our little Nerissa, lose her memories again. There's got to be a better way to distinguish. I feel like that's one thing that's always hard with ENRECO too, is so many of us go by our names. So I feel like it's hard because you guys might be talking about ENRECO Nerissa, but she's just called Nerissa. So you just say Nerissa. So sometimes I'm like, they hate me. And I'm like, oh wait, they're talking about ENRECO. Anyway, let's back up a bit. Sorry, I'm like word vomiting. I'm like, that's what I sound like right now. So, ENRECO chapter 1, I didn't really have a plan going into it. My plan was to have a good time, hopefully, with everyone. Then, because chapter 2, I wanted to do something a little more serious. I wanted to go in a little bit more on the role play, because at least season 1, especially, I had such a good time with Elizabeth, specifically, especially. I had a good time with everyone, but I was really enjoying that character arc. So I was like, I need to lock in on the Blood Raven for my sake, because I have so much fun getting to act with her. We're both actors, you know, so I'm like, this is so much fun. So I'm gonna memory wipe. I'll have the memories come back, but I kind of knew I was going to have some sort of identity crisis, basically. I was like, okay, I am going to remember things, but with that in mind, I want that to feel conflicting to the current Nerissa. And I thought it worked even better because I was like, okay, I have to end evil, but I don't really know how I'm going to get there. And then it worked out because I was making ENRECO chapter 2 Nerissa sickeningly sweet. She was so nice. She's so, oh hi, I don't remember anything. Oh, I'm doing my best. So I'm gonna become a chef. Oh, why is everyone being so mean to me? Why are you calling me a witch? So I was really kind of leaning into that pretty much purposely, because I was like, okay, if I do that, then I can use remembering chapter 1 Nerissa, who is more so just like me, but a little bit chaotic, as well as the other stuff that was built from chapter 1, like being a witch, which she wasn't ever actually a witch, but now she is. You think you're a hero, and they'll tell you you are so stoic and handsome. Sorry, I keep thinking about Pachi's animation. Anyway, so chapter 2. I just wanted to go in hard to it because I had a lot of fun season 1, so I wanted to do that again. Don't start with the animatics. Don't get me started on the animatics. We won't be talking about anything else. Sorry. I need a second. It really kills me. Okay? It really gets me. That's all I can say. Okay. So, I thought it went really well, and I think it worked out too, because since Elizabeth didn't wipe, or Lady Bloodflame rather, kept all of her memories from the previous chapter, she was able to actually do a really good transition into being evil, because she still treated now this very sickeningly sweet, nice Nerissa as, you know, this more like, you're a witch, you know, like really leading into this, or like being kind of mean to her even though she's being so sweet. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. This makes it really easy for me to become evil. Because I can use the fact that I'm basically being, you know, treated badly for stuff that, as far as this Nerissa knows, she has never done. It'll be great. It's going to work out fantastic. I was very optimistic. So, and again, I think it went very well. If you haven't watched it, obviously, first off, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like and leave a comment at the end of this video too. Or right now. Tell me what you thought of ENRECO. But yeah, so it worked out really well because I again, during the first chapter, I didn't really like think about anything too hard because I never roleplayed before. So I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. So even though she was like, you're a witch, I was like, I'm not a witch. And I was like, wait, that would be kind of fun though. So I was like, well, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. And it was nice too because we had the paintings, you know, you still have the stuff to be able to get like building supplies. Like overall, I thought there was the potential to have a lot of fun kind of screwing around in ENRECO this time. I feel like there's always room for improvement. So to be a little bit critical of an overall positive experience, I think there's more ways that we can add in some more stuff to make it a bit easier. For example, like, because for me, I probably won't step away from the romantic subplot, because for me, I feel like that is my that's my subplot. It's been my subplot since day one. Nerissa has her own plot too, but like it's intrinsically entwined. But I feel like overall, there doesn't need to be maybe as much shipping. And I think the fans, as well as us, can maybe do better to have more. So I'm kind of hoping that there will be a bit more. Again, I thought this season was way better, but I think there could be other stuff also added to help even more, give us like some more to do story-wise, so we don't all immediately fall into having a telenovela where we all fall in love with each other. But someone did ask though how I felt about Aroa getting in the way. If you want the actual, obviously as friends with being both friends with Aroa and Liz, it was all in good fun. Being a fan of ENRECO and really obviously liking my my love plot, I felt very threatened. I felt very threatened. It's like, wait a minute. Laura! I didn't say anything, obviously, because I think it's more fun if it just plays out. And if Lady Bloodflame chooses Nerissa, I want her to do it naturally. But, were you expecting it? No, not at all. I didn't think anyone was gonna come for my Lady Bloodflame. But I thought it created a really fun kind of tension. So I really liked it. I really liked it. Like, again, I did feel threatened. So I was like, no, Lady Bloodflame's mine. But again, it's kind of what made it fun, you know? So slinging hate. I mean, I feel like it's difficult because I feel like there needs to be a distinguishment in the characters. I agree. Actually throwing hate at any of the girls is bad. Like, I saw some people saying things at like some of the girls, and every time it made me kind of upset. But I feel like there's a difference saying, for example, I hate Nerissa Juliet Bloodflame versus I hate Nerissa, you know, because you can hate something my character does. I don't care. I don't care if you hate what Nerissa does in the story. I'm purposely doing stuff. I'm purposely doing stuff to cause chaos. So you should indeed. It's just like watching an anime, right? But actually like putting that back in a way in which they can see it and like actually like using it directed at them. Again, there's a difference, and it's a difficult line to toe, I'll be honest. But at the end of the day, we're all acting. So, but it's difficult because on one hand, I understand fans, they're not actually targeting it. They're consuming it like an actual media, you know? Like, oh God, what's a good anime? Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a really good show. If someone says, I hate Jon Snow, not because of his acting, but because of something the character did in the universe, that is totally valid. I love Jon Snow. I think he could do no wrong. He is a very beautiful, brooding man, and we love that. But if you then go and say, I hate Kit Harington, or I guess the better one would be Joffrey. You can hate Joffrey because he's a really fucking awful character, but then if you turn around, I think his name is Jack Gleason, the actor, and you're like, you're an awful person, you know, like that's bad. So I feel like that's a one flaw with ENRECO. I think we all should have had different names. Like, I love the Tam Gander, I love the Jonathan with a G, I love the Lady Bloodflame, you know, I love the Shiori of the Niavella, because it makes it simple if you're using those full names to distinguish between if you're referring to the character or referring to the actual person. So I feel like in general, I hope fans can continue to be respectful and make clear when they're talking about the character versus talking about the talent. Like, just don't say negative things about the talents. They're all doing their best in something that's kind of difficult, honestly. Anyway, back off of my PSA. So I don't care what you say about me, though. I got thick skin. I've had to develop it. So you can say whatever you want about me. I don't care. Yeah, improv is really hard. So with Nerissa's character, I really wanted to go all in. And I think I can do even better next time, but I think I definitely found more of a what's the word I'm looking for? More of the direction I wanted to go. I felt like it went really well. I was pleased as a peach. Sorry. Let me lock it. Oh, I hit my mic, sorry. I'm trying to like adjust my chair and it's not working very well. Getting immersed with your character is a big one. It is. And honestly, I feel like that's one thing that I kind of enjoyed too, that ENRECO was 8 days straight. I know some people are like, oh, it's really tiring, and I totally understand that, but I think for my brain, it does, like, I've never had, at least in recent years, I've never had such a musical theater high where I have felt like so insane in the best way possible. My musical theater kids will get it. You know, when you're in school and you're doing musical theater and literally every single day you have the musical practice or play practice at the end, and like you have to be in character, you have to like learn the songs, you're hanging out with your castmates, you know, you're already at schools, but you're like in an even smaller group now of people, and you're making friendships, you know, all those different things. I feel like that is so fun to me, and I really miss that experience because I just don't get that. It's hard to get that experience when you're not going to like a physical place doing stuff like that, right? ENRECO, I feel like, is the closest in a recent times that I've gotten to that, and I just think it's so fun. And I personally prefer not really having a break. So I apologize to you guys. I deeply apologize, but I think being able to just be locked in fully and just like have that be all I'm thinking about, because then like I'm making breakfast and I'm thinking about ENRECO. I'm going out and I'm doing stuff and I'm thinking about ENRECO. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about what I want to do tomorrow. I'm thinking about, you know, instead of like having like a week between or a few days between where it's like, oh, it kind of marinates and I don't really remember where I was 100% because I've been busy and I've had to think about other, like I like being able to lock in. It just takes over my brain. And for me, I think that's great. But I'm sorry for you guys, because I know it probably causes a little bit of content fatigue. But I get hyperfixated. That's my sin. I will say, please don't ask me anything about season 3, because I'm already making plans and I don't want to spoil anything, because in case I change my mind or in case stuff changes, you know, I don't want to like say something and then like have people like build up expectations or anything like that. So is season 3 soon? No idea. I have absolutely no clue. But anyway, so let me stop yapping because I can't stay on topic. Let me go ahead and ask some questions. This first one's from Hills. I won't answer, but it says, how do you think Elizabeth and your relationship will be like in season 3? I have no idea. Because those kinds of things are so dependent on both of us, and we don't really discuss it beforehand, you know? It just kind of happens. I have absolutely no way of knowing where it's gonna go. So, good luck. We'll find out together, and I'm really looking forward to it. Spoiler, Nerissa Ravencroft will appear in season 3 of ENRECO. You got me. You got me. I can't believe you'd spoil things like this. Was a relationship between Elizabeth and Nerissa planned or improvised? Improvised. In season 1, we didn't talk about it at all. I pretty much everything is improvised. Like, I planned vague things, but there was no like plan, you know what I mean? But the whole first season, I had no plan. I wasn't like, yeah, I'm gonna try to marry Herb at the end or anything like that. I was like, oh yeah, it'll just have fun. But then like, it's just, you know, I'm just, she calls to me like a siren in the night, and I just can't stay away from her. It's crazy. It's crazy. She just gets in my little head and I just can't stop thinking about her. So no, it wasn't planned. Again, this season 2, I did have her in mind and like the small plans that I made, but my plans were basically like memory wiped again, but vaguely getting it back as you continue, meaning that I'm gaining back my memories from 1, meaning I have to interact with those people, because otherwise it's going to be completely irrelevant. Because if I'm bringing back memories, but then I don't have any memories, or I just bring it up to someone who's completely uninvolved, they're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about, Nerissa Ravencroft? So, yeah, I think it worked out well. But yeah, so general things like that. But I didn't have like I wasn't like, oh, by the end of the season, I'm going to marry Liz and I'm going to message her right now to tell her that she has to marry me. I'd prefer for it to, like, if stuff happens naturally, for it to happen naturally. I think it's more fun that way. You know, I think everyone agrees probably that it's more fun if things go that direction. So I'm just going to continue to like have a general idea, but let things happen as they happen and kind of mold the role play to that. And because that's what role play is, right? Imagine if you planned out your whole D&D campaign. That wouldn't be any fun. But like knowing that you're gonna, like if you're playing Baldur's Gate 3, right? You go into it and you might be like, I'm going to be a good character and I'm going to make the objectively good decisions because I want to be good. But you haven't already decided at that point like what you're going to do every single time, you know? Well, as a DM, your life is different. But yeah, it's just an example. The whole point of D&D is to make your DM regret that they made any plans at all. Exactly. Anyways, the point is I want to improvise. I think it's more fun like that. I think Liz has more fun like that. I'll probably always give her like a little spoiler, like, hey, this is my general plan in case something involves her. But I don't ever actually expect her to read it or go along with it. So that's what it is. Gotta be flexible. Do you have a favorite moment of season 2? Oh, top 3 moments if it's hard to choose. Oh, there are so many good moments. I have to say, just because I love being a tease, one of my favorite moments, because I have a lot, would be the the scene in the onsen. The onsen scene. I thought it was a lot of fun, and the layers to the scene is what makes it for me. Me and Herb go there. The implication is that I am naked. She is sitting there in the room. She eventually joins me, but she takes off her hat first, which is the implication that she's also... Because we're getting in the bath. You're not going to leave your clothes on to get in the bath. Laura is at the door. And here's the thing. I think some people didn't realize if I noticed her or not. I noticed her right away. And every time I saw Roa, Pandora, every time I saw her, I was like, I need to lock in. I need to lock the hell in. So I really... did do that and pushed it a little bit further than I think I would have if she wasn't at the door. Also, I was being a bit devious at the end because I knew I was going to end being evil, right, with Advent. So I don't know how it'll end up going in the next season, but I wanted to cause a little bit of conflict and excitement for season 2. So it was one of my goals to make Elizabeth, or rather Lady Bloodflame, swear her fealty to me, because I want to see what decision she'll end up making. And I don't know, she might decide that she will turn on me and we might be mortal enemies in the next season, or she might decide to serve me, as that was her oath that she took. So I can't wait. I'm like nerding out about it. Like, I want it to happen now because I need to know, you know? I think that's probably, again, those are 2 of my like favorite moments in the whole series, just because I worked up to them. Maven and Blue, I put only an hour of effort into it, but at the same time, it felt like a lot more effort than that because I had to come up with the idea, I had to come up with the imagery, I had to write the poem, and then I had to write it in a book, and I had to figure out how to do that, and then I had to wait for someone to read it, and it was all very nerve-wracking because not only that, because obviously I don't want to put all this work into it and then not have someone find it, but then I was also having to gripe with the fact that someone is going to have to read this weird little poem that I wrote. And there's definitely going to be people who are like, Nerissa, this is stupid. Why did you do this? What I think Liz didn't realize is it technically wasn't just for her, but no one else was checking it out anyway, so it's fine. It was mostly for her. So it's okay. I felt bad after. So I think I mentioned this. I went and I watched Elizabeth's perspective just because I had so much fun with it. I was like, I can't be done with it now. Liz wanted it to be for her. Well, I mean, it was. But, you know, who knows where that's going? Maybe it's not going anywhere. Who knows? Who even knows? Who cares? We find out on season 3. of ENRECO, but having them finally read it is very nerve-wracking moment for me, but I was happy when it was over. And I was happy that it could be both Jonathan with a G and Lady Bloodflame, because last season, I distinctly remember in season 1, I helped out Jonathan with a G near the end of season 1. So in a way, I know Lady Bloodflame would have checked it out on her own eventually, but it made me happy to have Jonathan with a G return the favor a little bit. If you know what I mean. I was happy. The next question is the same, so I'll go ahead and skip it. It's just, what's your favorite moment? Have you gone and watched any of the other talents playthroughs? I'd like to gradually watch through all the others, but so far besides yours, I've watched Shiori's Day 1 VOD. I've watched all of Liz's. Admittedly, I don't have a lot of time necessarily, so even Liz's, I was watching it on 2x speed. I was watching it on 2x speed, so I was getting through it fast. I would really recommend Shiori's too, though. I've seen some parts of Shiori's, and I need to lock in and watch it as well. We didn't interact as much as I wanted this season, but I'm looking forward to doing that more next time, I hope. But God, the way that she was building into it, because I feel like all of us didn't really know what to expect season 1, so we all just kind of like had fun. But she really locked in, and in the most Shiori way possible. Just the chaos she was causing, the things that she was doing just intrigued me so much. I was like, okay, Shiori of the novella, hello, this character arc, hello, this character arc's going crazy. Like the stuff with Lady Bloodflame, with me, with Jonathan with a G, like it was all just really good. So obviously I would have to recommend that you watch mine, but I think also some must watches personally, from my opinion, would also be Lady Bloodflame and Shiori of the novella. All of them are good. All of them are good, though. Really, anyone you like, if you want to watch your perspective, you are gonna chef's kiss. You're gonna go crazy. You go ahead and you watch any, and you cannot go wrong. Okay, next question. I watched ENRECO while going through anxiety med withdrawal, and while I'm back on them now, you may be partially responsible for some permanent damage to my psyche. Whoa! I'm sorry. Whoa, well, I'm sorry for causing you so much anxiety, bro. Congratulations on getting back on your meds, though. All right, Byako, season 1, Silly Goobers. Season 2, Heel Turn. Season 3, huh? Season 3, we'll have to wait to find out. The Great Billy Mays. You know how Dungeons and Dragons has an alignment system. What alignment were you planning to use, and what alignment was the most prevalent at the end? Wait. D&D alignment. I need to look at it, because I haven't seen it in a while. So, here's the thing. In real life, and this, I hate this so much, because I don't think that this is true. I've taken all of the tests for it. And what would you guess? What would you guess that I am? If I had to guess myself, I would say that I'm probably a neutral good to chaotic good. But you want to know what I actually always fall under every single time I take the damn test? True neutral. And I really hate that. I really hate it. I don't know why. I feel like somehow that is the worst one because it's so boring. Yeah, true neutral. How? I don't fucking know. Every single time I take the test, that is what I get. I am true neutral, apparently. I don't know. Don't ask me how. I'm not sure. So, I don't really think about that though when I'm trying to like, in terms of the story, because I would say season 1 was probably just chaotic good, right? I didn't have anything in mind, but I think she was definitely just kind of screwing around, having fun, messing around, having a good time, causing a little bit of chaos, pretending to be corrupted. You know, it's just what it is. Season 2, she started out 100% as very good. I'd say whatever one is the most goody two shoes, cutie good girl. You know, that one, whatever that is, that's what she was. But I feel like then it moved into one of the evil categories. I couldn't tell you what one. Pretending? No, she wasn't pretending. She lost everything. She lost her memory. She lost everything. Oh, yeah, there's lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good. I'm looking at it compared to Tolkien characters so I can try to get a vibe of what these represent better. But yeah, I didn't really have any in mind though, is the answer to that question. I don't know them super well and I wasn't like thinking about it, you know. What was the best Bloodraven scene for you? I already told you my favorite scene. In regards to that. If I had to pick another one, I suppose it would probably be, I'm thinking. The duels were all really fun. I also really liked when she came and gambled with me a little bit. You know, it showed a bit of her character development too, because she before had just been completely demonizing it and being like, no, this is bad. But you know, when she actually let herself loose a little bit and played with me, it also made me soften in the moment, because I was trying to be so dramatic because it was the last day, you know. But she just made it so hard because she's so cute. I just wanted to be on a cute gotcha date with my cute lady Bloodflame. I didn't want to be emo anymore, waiting for Red to win, because it wouldn't, by the way. But yeah, I think there's so many good Bloodraven scenes in my head. It's really impossible to pick one. I'm just gonna you're gonna keep asking me, and we're just gonna keep like naming off different things. Blue always prevails, as I said over and over again. Waiting for Red to win, like it's statistically speaking, it's going to win, isn't it? At some point, it has to win. And then next one, why ENRECO, Risa, why? We were cheering for you because you were our Rock Lee, but I woke up and you were Sasuke, Sakura cries. Will we have to retrieve you from the Sound Advent 4? I'm not sure what you're asking me. I'm so sorry. I have no idea what you're trying to say. I can't help you with that. But good luck to you. Wait, can we do an animatic watch along? Oh my god, that'd be so much fun. I feel like that'd be difficult though, because all the videos are different lengths, and then we'd have to like constantly keep, you know, doing the 1, 2, 3 go. But maybe not today, but maybe it's something that we'll save for season 3 to like hype up when it's like starting again. And then that way anyone who like is still making one, or like anyone who makes one between then, you know, we'll see. Or maybe we'll do it after season 3 so we can just go over all of them. Next question. Did you have any plans for chapter 2 before you found out you were going to be evil in chapter 3? No, I didn't actually. I had so much fun with it the first time, and I kind of admittedly knew right away after chapter 1 that I was going to be evil at the end of chapter 2. So there wasn't really like time to like plan anything between then, or like think of anything. You know what I mean? There wasn't really any time. I just kind of had to, that far, yeah, I've known for a while. So, but I didn't start thinking about what I was going to do until probably about 2, maybe 3 at most weeks before ENRECO started, because I wanted it to be fresh. Again, I didn't want to like accidentally over prepare and like suddenly have like a whole thing in front of me that wasn't actually going to work. So next question, what do you think of Aroa Pandora getting in between Bloodraven? I've already mentioned this, but it got to me. It got to me. It definitely made me feel very protective. That's my love interest. Get your own. Roa Pandora. But now she's married, so I'd like to believe that I'll be uncontested. But I kind of think that Shiori wants my love interest too. Shiori of the novella wants my love interest. But she's mine. I'm not willing to share her in the ENRECO universe. So that's one thing I can tell you at least. Nerissa Juliet Bloodflame will have no more wives except one, and that's if it happens. But there will be no more wives for Nerissa. She will be wife free aside from one. Anyway, let's do animatic watch-alongs. There are so many good ones. We will again at some point, not right now. Was there ever a moment where Nerissa could have just said, I love you to Lady Bloodflame and the whole Toxicurity arc would have not existed? No, I don't think so. I feel like because it's on both sides where there's, you know, the... What's the word I'm looking for? I feel like because there's misconceptions on both sides, you know, like, I feel like it kind of went this way in season 1 too, where we're just not very in sync. And I don't mean this in a negative way. It's great for the story, where the times where Lady Bloodflame is feeling very affectionate towards Nerissa, it's not reciprocated. But then when it flips, suddenly, you know, it's the opposite. So I noticed that this season 2, at the beginning, very much Nerissa Juliet was very, what's the word? It was very feeling for Lady Bloodflame. She was definitely having some feelings, but then constantly being effectively turned down, constantly being treated like a witch, like she had done something wrong, as well as getting the memories back, caused her to kind of go a little bit crazy. But as this was all happening, out of the eyesight of Lady Bloodflame began to soften and be like, maybe she's not a bad witch, maybe I love her, you know, or whatever was going through her mind. I don't know. I only watched her perspective. Then at that point, Nerissa Juliet had already become jaded, I suppose, and more devious and evil, as they say. So I don't really think that there was ever a point where they were in sync enough. In sync enough to truly be that way, you know? All right. Was there any thought put into which disc you'd use for your jukebox shrine? Far is cemented into my mind as being associated with the Maven in Blue. Yes, I actually, there was none of those in the game. So I actually had to contact them and say, hey, can you please, I actually only asked for that one to be added. And I was like, can you pretty please add this one into the game? But I listened to all of the base Minecraft BGMs that you can get on those. And I was like, okay, I want, I need one that sounds kind of like mystical and mysterious, because I want it to be the shrine theme. But one thing I do regret is not digging deeper underground and putting it deeper in to make it so it wasn't so loud. Because I really only wanted it to be playing when you were like close to or in the shrine. I didn't mean for it to, you know, be so all-encompassing. But it is what it is. We learned for next time, sadly, probably better not to use those just because they're so loud. Or if you're going to, then dig, you know? Hi, Nerissa. That was your second. ENRECO, did you notice any changes from chapter 1? And is there anything you'd like to do in chapter 3? Yes, I feel like, again, I feel like everyone didn't really know what to expect from season 1. As to where season 2, we all had like a much clearer vision. So I feel like that in itself had kind of already changed the direction, I suppose. And I think having the jobs as well, instead of having just the guilds, because the guilds was fun, but apart from building just like we kind of us against these kinds, you know, mentality, there was an actual, like, we had to rely on each other for the economy. So I thought that change was a huge improvement. I hope that in chapter 3 they can be fixed even more, because I thought it was much better than just having a guild, but I still thought that there was a little bit of room for improvement. For example, I forget the job, a supplier. I don't think I ever bought from a supplier once, and I felt really bad. I felt really bad because I was just like, I just don't know what I would need from a supplier. I don't even know what they sell because I've never needed like to go to a supplier. And it felt that way too with being a chef. Like, I originally picked it because I wanted to keep it even. So when I saw generally like what was probably going to be picked, I was like, oh, I'll pick this one because there's not a lot and everything else will be uneven. But I was like, damn, I should have just not picked chef. I didn't regret it at the end. I had a lot of fun because I just like cooking. But I feel like there's definitely things that can be done in the future. I feel like there's things that can be done in the future to help further make it even better. Because again, I thought it was already great. I thought it was fantastic, but I think it could be even better. So that's all I'm saying. But I thought the team, everyone planning ENRECO did an amazing job. I too love the anime series of Game of Thrones. Thank you. Glad you get me. What if your evil turn makes Lady Bloodflame feel justified in her actions and realize she needs to take more drastic measures to preserve justice? I don't know. I hadn't thought that far. I guess, I mean, eventually we're all going to get our memories back at some point, right? And eventually, probably at some point at next season, Nerissa's going to remember who she is. And then when Liz remembers who she is, and Nerissa also in turn remembers who she is, I feel like it will cause some trouble, you know, because I say this a lot, I feel like, at least to me, but in my head, Liz and Nerissa, lore-wise, canon-wise, are very diametrically opposed. We are made in such an aesthetical way that we go together quite perfectly. We both have blue singing magic. We both have blue under highlights of our hair. We're both tall. We both have large, assets. I have red eyes. That's where the rest of my design is a cool blue. And what color is often considered to be opposite of blue? Red. So for me, I just think it's great. So I'll honestly, I mean, I hope we can stay friends in ENRECO. Obviously, we're good friends now, but I hope in ENRECO they can stay having some form of very positive relationship at the end. But I don't know. It could go to the point where they end up being past a point of no return. But I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. If turning evil for Nerissa is the breaking point for Lady Bloodflame. But I'm not sure. I can't express how much I love ENRECO and appreciate how much effort and work you put into it. It means so much. Thank you, Rissa. You truly did amazing. I love you so much. Thank you. That wasn't a question, though, Reds. Red, you have to ask a question. Please. Pleek. If you would go through with other plot lines with other holomem, what types would you want to pursue? That's a hard question. That's a difficult question for me to answer. Because I guess it's so dependent on what everyone else is doing. With Shiori, I feel like, and I feel this way about Shiori in general, when it comes to Advent, obviously I'm very good friends with everyone and I love everyone, but I feel like if I were to say I have a partner in crime per se, I would feel like it is Shiori. She's my buddy. I feel like, you know, when all the kids are bowing and dang-itting everywhere, I feel like it's me and Shiwowi standing behind, watching over them happily, kind of going like, haha, look at our silly friends. We love them. So I love Shiori so much, obviously. So I feel like I like where our current arc is going at this point. And I'm curious to see how it develops. obviously I feel like there's the danger of too many plot lines, so I'm trying to keep it, obviously I want to interact with everyone as everyone exists in the world, but I feel like in terms of focusing on characters, I feel like unless people stumble into my storyline, I probably won't try to develop anything too serious, just because I feel like if I'm juggling my plot line that I currently have, then my one with Shiori that I'm hopefully going to have, and then the one with the rest of Advent, and then if I try to throw everyone else into the mix, you know, like it would get hard trying to have so many plot lines, you know? Also, I see a quick question and I see that it's removed, so let me quick answer it now because I do see that it's deleted before it's gone forever. In the battle against the curse in the Heart of Runes, what would Nerissa do if Wawa, Bei, Cici, Gigi, and Raura die with 1 life each? I'm not sure. Probably KMS, honestly. I don't think all those people... I don't think it's good if anyone dies. I don't think it's good if anyone dies. But anyway, sorry, back to the question that I was answering before. I feel like it'd be difficult. So I feel like having like fun little moments with like Morden Ramsey where like I go in and I go to therapy and like we have small interactions are really great. And I feel like I kind of like it being at that. But I feel like if I tried to then be like, oh, well, along with all these other things, now next time I want to start a business enterprise with Morden Ramsey, I feel like, well, that would be really fun. I feel like that would add one more thing that would be fun, but would also cause a lot of stress in terms of like the planning, for example. And then I'd also have to hope that Morden Ramsey is actually up for that and wants to then add that to their, you know, like, so generally keeping it a little bit contained. This isn't Game of Thrones. I mean, it is kind of like Game of Thrones. There's so many different plot lines. There's so many different perspectives and they all kind of intersect, but they're all not 100% intertwined. You know what I mean? It's like that. So, can we talk about the real love-hate relationship, though? Nerissa and the color canon, and will it continue in season 3? Look, if there's a color canon, you already know where Nerissa Juliet Bloodflame is going. If there is a color canon, that is where she shall be at some point. She is called to gamble. It just depends on if I have money. If I have money, I will be gambling. But I need the chances for red to go up somehow. Okay. Are you worried that free RP approach will hurt in season 3 now that the alignment of 5 of you has been predetermined, or should I let the writers cook? I don't really think so. Personally, I don't mind having a little bit of forced, because like, for example, let's look at Baldur's Gate 3 again. So here's the issue sometimes that I find with roleplay, and I feel like this is an issue with D&D too. You need to have a reason for all of the characters to get together, plot-wise, right? So if you do this situation where you force everyone to be involved with each other, let's take Baldur's Gate 3. All of the main characters who are in your party have a mind flayer. You are all caught on a mind flayer ship, and you are all fighting for the same cause. So it kind of forcefully pushes you together and gives you something to do together. Versus other D&D campaigns, when they don't really have something strong, you all meet in a tavern, you're all drinking, and something happens and you all decide to go on this adventure together, but it doesn't really make sense, and you're just trying to like make it work because you just need something simple. You just need a reason for all the characters to meet, you know? But like it's not very strong, you know what I'm saying? As to where having that common goal of let's get rid of the mind flayer, you know, in BG3 makes it work excellently because you're able to immediately put yourself into the story and immediately understand why the characters are with you. So I think having the kind of like forced, I think I just let the writers cook, honestly, because I don't think it's going to restrict us at all, but I think giving us that more common goal and having us work together is going to give us more of that energy to work together rather than, you know, not really have a reason to, apart from if we create one ourselves, if that makes sense. So that's just my opinion. That's personally my opinion. Liz pledging to be Nerissa's knight, then Nerissa turning evil should lead to a great character for both characters. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I can't wait to see what's gonna go down. Seriously, I'm jazzed. ENRECO is really fun. Is there anyone you haven't interacted with much that you want to try to RP with in season 3? Oh my god. I feel like there's a lot of the girls I haven't. I feel like Tam Gander and Jonathan are characters I interact with on and off, but I'm really interested in them more. I want to be more a part of whatever's going on there because I don't really understand. Also, Cece had a really, really strong arc going on. I don't know what it was. Because it had nothing to do with whatever the hell was going on in my arc. But I really want to know more. And Bae too, I felt like Bae, I didn't get to interact with Bae like at all. I need to find an excuse. We need to interact more. So yeah. I feel like those are some that I really want to lock in on and have like a little more. But there's a lot. I feel like generally I like having nice interactions throughout with everyone. So I would like to continue for that. I would like for that to continue. Speaking of Shiori, did you know that the memory you commissioned would be about the cell/herb? Did it change any of your RP plans for this season? See, again, this is the fun thing. I had no idea that she was going to give me that memory. I thought she was going to come up with some crazy random shit and just give it to me. I did not know that she was going to get serious with it. And that's when I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, Shiori, what are you cooking? You're going crazy. I was so jazzed because it did change my RP plan slightly. I mean, I still was going to come to the same end, but it definitely gave me a reason to not only be entwined with Shiori more to help lead into the ending, but it also gave me another reason to be kind of skeptical of Lady Bloodflame. Because at the end of season 2, Nerissa Juliet is being what is the word? It's being very kind of almost borderline manipulative, right? She's kind of lost it. She's very she's losing it, man. She's going crazy. Okay, and she still cares about Lady Bloodflame a lot, but she's kind of like a husk, you know? She's a little bit of a husk whose sole purpose is to do whatever it is she's doing, which is being evil, okay? So I needed a good reason to continue to go in that direction, and Shiori of the novella just had it fall right into my lap. And we didn't talk about it. I didn't ask her to do that. I feel like me and Shiori were just both on that wavelength. She knew what I needed and she gave it to me, and it was great. And I just, again, I'm smiling so big thinking about it. It made me so giddy in the moment. I was so happy. She's just that good. Exactly. Shiori, I love you. Thank you. But so that's kind of how that went. But I didn't expect it at all. It wasn't discussed. It wasn't discussed with me. It wasn't discussed with Lady Bloodflame or Liz. It wasn't, it just happened. Shiori just was cooking. Okay, on the last day, or second to last, you were talking to Nyavella and talked about feeling a special connection with her, but got immediately interrupted. Were you going anywhere specific with that? I mean, yeah, it was just further building up to the vagueness of, we do have a connection, because at the end of the day, us and ENRECO are the same as our canonical lore selves, right? So I do have a special connection with Shiori. We broke out of the cell together, you know, we've been through so much together, and she's one of my cherished friends, right? So I feel like that's where I was kind of leading to it. So it's okay that we got interrupted, because I probably would have just said something about it, and it probably wouldn't have continued to develop from there. So that's fine with that. Oh, right. And then next question. It's unfortunate the battle ended just as you entered Lady Bloodflame's mine. I expected you to want to toy with her more before you were saved. Also, Nerissa Ravencroft as a way to differentiate, maybe. I don't want to change it. At this point, it's a little difficult. I think just referring to her as Nerissa Juliet, NJ, something like that, I think is fine. I did think it was funny, though. Honestly, on one hand, I was really upset that it ended suddenly. I didn't realize we were so close to the end of the mind control bit. I wanted to keep toying with her. I was having fun. I was having a lot of fun. And then it just stopped. And then I was like, well, I'm not in her head anymore and I have to stop. But it was really anticlimactic. But honestly, I just had to laugh about it because, like, what am I supposed to do? It already happened. Well, the issue was I didn't mean to taunt Roa for that long, but we didn't really get a test for the abilities per se. So I didn't know how to get out. I actually was in chat with the developers and I said, how the hell do I get out of here? I'm stuck in her head. So, but it's fine. It is what it is. It was a bummer, but it's fine. Okay, next question. Was Advent consulted about the plot twist or was it determined? What were your thoughts about it at the time? I mean, of course it was discussed because we had to record the lines for that animation, right? So we knew, all of us knew, that was going to happen. I think technically speaking, everyone knew, or at least everyone knew who had to record for that. So Advent, Promise, you know. No, it was fun. I had so much fun. Okay. I love the Yuri relationship, you and Liz in ENRECO. I wonder if you noticed Liz kissed you on the final day or ignored it. I did notice. I saw a lot of people saying, oh, she didn't hear it. Oh, she didn't. No, I noticed it. I noticed it 100%. I ignored it on purpose because at that point, this is not the same Nerissa Juliet that we had at the beginning of the season, right? The one we had at the beginning of the season would have definitely been like, what? She kissed me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. You know, like it would have had that reaction 100%. However, again, that was not the same. This was, yes, I see someone in the chat say it, and it's the perfect wording. This was, I don't gaff. I don't give a fuck, Nerissa. She was colder. She was still having feelings for Lady Bloodflame, mind you, but more in kind of, it's hard to explain. For some reason I can't find the words. She's in husk mode. If she was not in husk mode, she would have freaked out. But because she has become an evil husk of her former self, she was not going to react because her goal is to seduce Lady Bloodflame. She is no longer feeling anything. Her goal is simply to seduce Lady Bloodflame for her own sadistic desires, not out of love at that point. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I'm having a hard time articulating it, but I feel like it makes sense in my head. All right. Pachi! Milady, my utmost gratitude for slaughtering me with your delicate, bright mind that conquered season 2. You put so much love into it. Is there a song outside of all the animatics made where your mind just thought of ENRECO Risa? Good question. I haven't really thought about it, if I'm honest. I think honestly, the one from your animatic, the one that I was singing earlier, you think you're a hero, and they'll tell you you are so stoic and handsome, and you've come so far. You think you're a villain, but I know you're not. I had never heard it before. I had never ever heard it before your animatic, and I was just sitting there and I was like, where the hell did Pachi find this song? It's so perfect. It's literally perfect. It's peak. This is exactly it. Because Lady Bloodflame is very much a heroic person who's like, I'm doing everything right. I'm going to do what a knight would do. I'm going to make the decisions a knight would make. You know, that's very much the direction that her character goes. And Nerissa doesn't start evil. She doesn't even start out as an actual witch. She's not a witch at all. But she does definitely go that direction because of the heartbreak, the mistreatment, all of these things. She makes herself the villain at the end, you know, and kind of emotionally shuts off, turn it off, all her feelings, and her heart comes evil. Yeah. Yes, she is an evil little bitch. So, honestly, that song was perfect. I don't think, obviously all the animatics were great. I loved the one that I think Renshifter made that had the song from Wicked Part 2, this Act 2 No Good Deed. That's one of my favorite songs from Wicked. And I was like, oh my god, you have to be kidding me. Someone made an animatic using it, are you kidding? And also all the ones that Ellie made. Oh my god. Oh god, losing it. Anyway, everything was just good. I can't complain about anything. I was spoiled so much. Thank you guys again for all of the crazy shit you did. Moving on. Morkel, did you ever think about the art that would be made of any situations or interactions as they happened, or even as you planned them? Totally not thinking about the onsen scene. No. Honestly, I'll be so for real. I never kind of expect that. I know it's been a while now, but I'm always like, people wanted to draw me? People drew me? Are you for real? You drew fan art of me? You drew fan art of this moment? You like me? You like me? So I guess there was no point in ENRECO where I actually expected anyone to be like inspired enough to like want to like draw the moment. So honestly, I was very touched by everything that people were inspired by it and wanted to like make art and stuff. So thank you. Okay. I love that we had almost a full episode of doing exploring / lore as we did in season 1, exploring the castle and learning the king's secrets. I know no spoilers, but would love to do it again in season 3. I probably will. I think for me, I just really like the lore aspect, and I don't know who's the writer for ENRECO, but like clearly they're putting in a lot of work. So I feel bad skipping it, because for me that's why I play games in the first place. I love finding like the little lore secrets. I love knowing what's like going on instead of just like playing. So being able to interact with those things, I feel like for me is really fun. So we'll probably always have a moment where we go through and like find those things as long as they exist in the game. So that also means you guys have to remind me, or if there's anything that's really hidden, I don't mind if you want to give me a little bit of brain worms to help point me in the right direction, if that makes sense. Have you dabbled in any fanfics about chapter 2? If so, what would you like to see more in fanfics about ENRECO, if there's anything? Honestly, you guys just making whatever you want to make. I think that's the most fun. I haven't had time to read a lot of fanfics. I've seen and skimmed some. I guess I could say I think any of them are fun. Any of them are fun. Whatever you want to write, I think is the best thing that you can possibly write, is what you want to and what gives you the most joy to write, you know? Okay, next question. Do you feel any pressure being one of the fan base's breakout main characters for chapter 2? No, because I don't feel like that is the case. I'm glad that so many people again were really inspired. I think one strength was that I connected it all, I suppose. So not only did I stick with my chapter 1 stuff lore, but I also stuck with the same storylines too and continued to develop upon them. So I think it just made it more excitable for fans who really liked it season 1. But I think if I'm being honest, and I don't say this to be mean to myself, but I think I am the side character in Liz's story, but I very much think that Lady Bloodflame is insane. Again, I can't even imagine how she does all that shit. So I just think Obviously, please watch my perspective still. I'll try to be even more interesting next time. I'll do my best. I want to be even more interesting for you guys, but yeah, I'm still working on it. I'm still working to continue to get even better. I'm working to continue to get even better, so that you guys, you know, are losing it, you know. I say side character, but like main character in her plot line is what I meant. Sorry, I meant just like, you know what I mean. You guys, it's fine. We love your perspective. I love you guys. I'll get emotional. Don't make me cry. It was a lot of pressure, like trying to do more, I guess. Or like rather the pressure came from me worrying that I wasn't good enough, but the whole event itself was fine. But the only pressure that came was the pressure of me wanting to do even more. So we'll see. Maybe next time if I have the means. I think it was a little harder too because I was in Japan and I didn't really have access to like my normal stuff. So I kind of was just trying to lock in and do what I was able to while still working. So but I wasn't able to like do a lot of things just because I didn't really have my setup. And I don't function well when I don't have my things. You guys probably noticed in my collaboration with my brother, when he started touching my stuff, he knew that would piss me off, and it did piss me off really fast. Because if I just like need my things, and when they're not around me, or like I don't have like my stuff, I don't function well. So, but yeah, I didn't really feel like I was a breakout main character in season 2 or chapter 2. So if you feel that way, I'm happy, and I hope you'll continue to follow me into the next chapter too. But yeah. Okay. What was the most unexpected thing you came across during ENRECO? Stuff like the TAM/HPO drama or any of the Morden Ramsey therapy sessions? Honestly, probably everything that Callie was doing really surprised the hell out of me. Because it was just so, I really want, it made me think of, sorry to bring up something that's going to make all of us sad. It reminded me of season 1 with Fauna Mart and the Nana Mart. And because those for season 1 for me, honestly, were some of the highlights too. Because you have all these crazy plot lines going on. And then you have Fauna who's just like, I'm building the Fauna Mart. I'm going to build a library. I'm going to make a lottery. You know, like all these things that I just think were so much fun. To the plot that are able to include everyone and just be a whole lot of fun. So I really enjoyed that aspect, and I liked that Callie kept it alive. I guess is the best way I can put it. 'Cause she really did. She kept that shit alive, man. So I think that was probably the most surprising, because I felt like I was going to really sadly, even more than already, be like kind of feeling the loss, I suppose. But I felt like because Callie was there, and every day she did something new and crazy. Like she's like, here's my food business, here's my inn now. Also, here's my therapy place. Oh, now I'm building, and like every single time she had something else going on, and I was like, girl, I love you. I love you so much. I don't know what you're doing, but it's great. So it was wonderful. I think that was the most fun part for me. To just, it was one of the things I definitely looked forward to every day, was waking up and seeing what Calliope Mori was up to. I also liked her live being like, I saved everyone. I was like, oh, you did? Really? You saved everyone? That's so valiant of you. Okay, let's go. What are your thoughts of Callie and Kiara trying to wingman Bloodraven after Lady Bloodflame hit you with a stick? Oh, I thought that was hilarious. I really appreciated it. I needed the wingmen, you know? And I can't imagine better wingmen than Takanashi Kiara and Calliope Mori. So I was quite tickled. I was tickled pink, as they say. Because I was just like, well, It's kind of like symbolism, isn't it? the OG Takamori ship that is the most amazing, one of the most amazing ships, lore-wise and otherwise, is now shipping Bloodraven. I thought it was great. This is what I'm saying. And I was really happy that it was both Callie and Kiara, because then I could continue to be funny and laugh about it. Hi, Risa. If you could add a new job for season 3, what kind of job would you add? Oh, Luna, I'm so sorry. I'm not the right person for these kinds of questions at all. I'm not, that is not me. That is not me. I am not the right person to ask. Because I don't build games. And honestly, I couldn't tell you how to improve it for next season. I couldn't tell you how to do anything, honestly. Like, I was even in my head being like, well, they should remove the ability to cook anything. They need to remove the ability to make any type of food, bread or anything, to force people to use the chefs. And that would be horrible. That would be horrible. Think about it if they made that change. I'm gonna kill myself on accident. It would be really bad. So my point is, I should not be making any sort of decisions. You know, I should not. I will continue to let the game makers make the game, and I will continue to role play within it, because that is what I am good at, is having fun. and maybe acting a little bit. Okay, do you have a moms you enjoy in season 2 that you weren't involved in? I presume you mean a moment, unless you actually mean moms. I feel like I should be involved with all the moms. Were there more moms that I didn't know about in ENRECO? Who else had children? Who else had children? Jake33W, come back. You need to clarify. Did you mean moms or did you mean a moment? What hags are you asking if I loved? Because the answer is all of them. Incidentally, my mom loves you. I'm so happy to hear. Honestly, I've been so locked in that I probably haven't been reading up on as many as I need to. I still need to lock in to the other perspectives that I wasn't a part of. So let me get back to you at another point. But honestly, again, probably going back, sorry to keep gassing up Mori, but probably her therapy thing. I was very locked in to the therapy thing. Also, Fuwawa, her store, because she wasn't selling things because she wasn't price matching, so no one was buying from her. But then Kiara, in all her kindness, came and bought out her store, and I thought that was such a sweet moment. And it made me really happy. So poor Fuwawa, but it all worked out. Can I get a happy early birthday? Mine is tomorrow. Happy early birthday! I hope you have a great one. Why is Advent always up to no good? Didn't y'all just get out of prison? Do you need ankle monitors or something? Hey, shut the hell up. Okay? I might be up to no good, but I am allowed that. Okay? No one can stop me. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I support women's rights and wrongs, and you should too. Anyway, did you hear any reaction of ENRECO from Holo JP side? If not, any reaction from your family? Thank you, Nerissa, for your passion and hard work. Not really, if you mean from like the JP talents. Obviously they're busy, and just like I don't have time to watch everyone's perspective, I doubt a lot of the JP senpai have time to watch our silly Minecraft roleplay. But like obviously there were quite a few JP fans who were watching and like paying attention, and I saw a lot of being like, oh, I really want to know what's going on, but I can't understand it. I don't know English, but I'm doing my best. And I think that was always just a really warmed my heart seeing that, so it made me happy. But my family, I don't think they watched it. I'll be honest. I don't think my mom knew what the hell was going on. I think she skipped it. She didn't say anything about it to me, at least. So I have no idea. You've talked about the Maven in Blue for a bit. Do you want to talk about the other works you included in the tomb as well? Well, Go Lovely Rose is one of my favorite poems of all time, so that's why I had to include it, because Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. But she doesn't know her middle name is Rose, so let's just be a little on the down low. But she is like a rose to me, and so I had to include it because she is my lovely rose, you know? Though the poem itself admittedly is quite interesting because it is about a girl who is being compared to a rose, and the person who is writing it is sending her the rose to let her know that he thinks that she is rose-like, but that is also supposed to reflect that he also thinks that her beauty is limited and will die, just like the rose will wither in a few days after, you know, not being in the ground anymore. And he wants her to realize that her beauty is limited and will not be there forever. So while she has it, she should allow herself to be admired while she has the beauty, because it is rare and it does not last forever. And that is the meaning of Go Lovely Rose. So that was for Liz. Stanzas, I just picked it because I was looking for other poems and it was ad and I liked it. And I thought it fit what I was going for with my kind of emo character arc that I was going for. I admittedly can't talk about that one in depth. With Hamlet, I really like Hamlet. To be or not to be, it's a very contemplative, famous speech. I thought everyone would know it. So even if you didn't actually know anything from Hamlet, having that scene, you would like recognize it. You know what I'm saying? And it would feel great. And I felt like it as well with the Nerissa character. She's very much kind of being contemplative overall and like before she has lost it. So I thought including that specific excerpt, I felt like it fit. If that makes sense. So that's why I picked it. A to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the anyway. Hi Nerissa, have you read the archive and what do you think about the written Nerissa's POV asking for a friend? Well, I thought it was great. I was keeping up with it. I just want to say, for those of you who were working on the ENRECO archive, big round of applause to you guys. That is an absolutely massive project, and I just want to say that as someone who is involved in ENRECO, seeing that just made me so happy. You guys were killing it, like keeping up day to day. I thought it was amazing, and I liked at the end because there's just so much going on. I felt so bad for you guys. I was like, oh, I hope they know they can take their time if they need to, but I also understand wanting to be on the ball and get it quick. But please remember to let yourself enjoy it too. It's okay to take your time. But I also think what you did was great of having at the end when you guys brought on some more people to help kind of expand and take some of the load off of your guys' plates and get people who I presume Zell was already watching my perspective. I'm just guessing. Maybe he wasn't. Getting people who are already watching it and then you know, having them write it out, so instead of having to try and dual watch some other ones, you know, you are able to focus on the perspectives that interest you and then have someone else, you know, who's already watching one perspective and passionate about it, right? I thought that was a really great idea. And yeah, no, I did see you guys delayed the last 2 days, and I was happy for you guys. I was like, thank God they can enjoy it. So thank you guys again so much for putting in the hard work and effort. It was so appreciated. I was reading it every day. Again, no pressure. Definitely take your time with it. Season 2 or 3 if you decide to do it again, which I hope you will. I'm sure you will. But yeah, I definitely was like on, and I would like read again like what had happened the day before. It made me really happy. So thank you guys so much for your hard work and efforts. Nick G, what were you thinking when Liz said, I want to devour your soul in a deep voice? Oh my God, she scared the shit out of me. She really scared me. I was frightened. I didn't know what that was. It was like when we did the first dungeon, I think, together, and she did voiceover for the boss. I was confused for a second, and I thought there was actual voiceover. Like, I thought there was genuine, actual voiceover. I was so confused. And then when there wasn't the next time, I was like, oh, I guess they only voiced the first boss, question mark? I was so lost. Liz is just so great. And I love the little things she does. It's just so funny. I love her. Sorry if this is off topic, but I'm surprised you didn't go for Shield Raven this time. There'll definitely be Shield Raven, but maybe not so much romantic. I think just for the arc that I'm trying to go for ENRECO, I think I'm trying to, again, I feel like having too many plots is too difficult, and I feel like trying to have 2-3 love interests that you're trying to juggle a relationship with, it just creates something messy. And not that I think Shiori would be against it, but I think Shiori also has her own stuff going on, and I feel like from the beginning she's always been like more like leaning towards Bibu as her love interest if she's going to have one. So I don't want to interfere with that. I'm just going to let them do that, and we're going to become BFFs. Maybe. I don't actually know. We'll see what happens, but I'm obviously hoping to have a good relationship with all of Advent in it. We started the Witches Coven after all, and we're both witches officially. So didn't they get divorced in season 1? They did, but I think they got remarried at some point. So it is what it is. Shiori was considering Lady Flame at one point. I heard that, but she'll have to get through me first. If she wants to make an enemy of Nerissa Juliet, then that is one surefire way to have a Shiori of the novella and Nerissa Juliet Bloodflame fight to the death. So we'll see. Yeah, I think though, I think I'm really happy with the concept of me and Shiori being a really good nakama though. So we'll see how it goes. Again, I'm not sure how it's going to develop because I don't actually have any plans specifically, but Shield Raven always exists in one form or another. So look forward to how it exists in ENRECO, but it will not be romantic from this point forward. Unless something drastic happens. I guess I make no promises. But yeah. Okay, next question. Forgive me if this has already been asked or if my memory's foggy, but when did you get the idea to make the basement under Nerissa Juliet Bloodflame's house? I don't know. I didn't answer this before, but I don't know. I just did it. I think it was literally like the night before I had the idea. And then after I was done playing for the day, I was like, oh, I should build a shrine. I need to write a poem. And I just feel like the whole entire ENRECO just gave me so much inspiration, and it was so much fun for me that I just could not stop myself from going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I just I went crazy, and that's what happened. It's 6 feet under. 6 feet under because she's dead. The old her is dead. So there really is no there was no planning. I didn't plan to do that. I just went crazy and did it after I signed off. Because I had the idea, and then I couldn't even, because I felt really bad that I was like, I can't figure out how to do the loop. I need the jailbirds to help me. But I really appreciated that you guys did help me, so thank you so much. Other than ones existing with animatics, what epic TM songs do you think fit with ENRECO Bloodraven? Oh! Oh, I don't know. There could be a lot of really good ones. There could be a lot of good ones. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure. All of them. Yeah, good luck. Guys are asking about epic songs. You can't say good luck, babe. When was good luck, babe, an epic? When was that an epic? It wasn't. Okay? Okay, I wanted to know if you ever checked ENRECO fanfics. We already answered this before. Not really. I've skimmed some at most. If so, what are your thoughts on them? And is there anything you want to see more of? Again, whatever makes your guys' hearts happy, that is the best way to go. So please continue to do what you must. Appreciate all you do. It's so fun to see you excited. Sorry if I missed your answer to this before, but is there a character you take inspiration from and pull from for your ENRECO character? Not anyone specific. I'm not really thinking. I don't have someone specific in my mind, I guess. When I'm playing ENRECO, I just am kind of going where anyway the wind blows, you know, with the character. I'm just letting it happen. And I think that's the way I want to keep it. Instead of, because I feel like the best characters are the ones who just are great. Not the ones that are the copies of other characters. Not like I'm saying that that's what you're insinuating, but my point is, I didn't really have anyone specific in mind, I guess, is the best way to put it. Talking about things to do to hype up chapter 3, how about a read-along of the fan-made ENRECO website? The Bloodraven recaps that they put together for you two are pretty funny from what I've seen. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll have to consider it, Jailbird. When you were setting Shiori's picnic on fire, what was the intentional decision by your character? Were you just having fun with the blast charges? I need to apologize because I saw some people getting angry at me. But I need to defend myself. I thought the picnic was over and I was helping clean up, okay? That's why I was taking the frames. Also, I think some of you missed that I also put down food. It wasn't a lot, mind you, but I also put down food, okay? And taking the frames, I was like, this will be nice. I haven't had frames yet, and there's so many. I'm gonna take some frames. And when I was putting things on fire, it was because I realized that when I used the charge, nothing actually burned. So it would add fire, but nothing would actually burn down. So I was just having fun with it because I knew that it wouldn't burn anything. Because tell me, I lit things on fire, but tell me one thing that actually disappeared because of one of the fires that I lit. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Tell me, what did I actually destroy with fire? What was destroyed? Nothing? I see. So... Anyway, my point is I was just causing chaos for fun and cleaning up because I thought the party was over. Some people got mad. I saw some people saying that I apparently didn't know how to read the room. And I was like, what room? The party was over. I'm lost. And I think I even responded. I was like, what did I do wrong? And no one could really tell me. So I was really lost because I was just trying to understand because they're like, yeah. Usually Nerissa's really good at reading the room, but this wasn't it. And I was like, what are they talking about? We were at a picnic. The picnic was over. I cleaned up some food and then I lit fires that didn't destroy anything. I'm lost. Obviously, again, I don't mind, but I was just really confused because I didn't know what was happening. I just didn't know what they were talking about. Which again, it's fine, but I wanted to understand. So they're like, well, Shiori was really excited for the picnic. And I'm like, and the picnic happened? What? What's... I don't know. I don't know. I was crashing out over that a little bit, admittedly. My point is there was no... It was just me having fun with the picnic like everyone else. Other people were being chaotic too, not just me. I want to remind everyone and point that out. So there was no decision. She was just evil at that point. So I was also being a little chaotic for the fun of it, for the love of the game. Because sometimes you just gotta have things for the love of the game. You know, that's it. Okay, brah, not too much. It's hard to decide. If there was one thing you could do differently in season 2, what would it have been, if anything at all? If I could change anything about season 2, that's actually a really hard question. I feel like it went pretty much as good as I could have expected it to. But I feel like if there was anything that I could change, speaking only from things I could change from my perspective, obviously, I feel like I just would have liked to have been able to do more, like a little more. Because when I would go back and listen, since I was, you know, still figuring things out, I could tell that I was acting, you know, or like I sounded a little too sweet, you know. So I think if I could change anything next time, it would be stuff like that, I suppose, where I'd want to feel more locked in. Does that make sense? Like for you guys. I want to feel like I was more locked in and sound more natural. Cause like, for example, Liz sounds like super duper natural. Sorry to keep talking about Liz. If you can't tell, I'm a little, I might be a little obsessed. But I want to lock in more so that you guys really have like a peak watching experience. So we'll see. But I think that's one thing of things that I could change about what I did personally that I do. But otherwise, honestly, I think it went even better than I could have expected. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that, because it just was amazing peak, in my opinion. And clearly fans agreed, because I saw those animatics you guys made and stuff. It's amazing. Okay. Love it when a romance is one unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. The shock sends ringers to everything around them. Yeah, no, I love it. If the narrative threads pulled to see Nerissa and Herb become enemies forsaking love, would you be willing to commit? If destiny calls for thorn to pierce your heart as your tuning fork silences the queen for good, will you give us a show? A good tragedy is fun too. Oh God. I feel like I can't answer this question, Shizno, because I feel like if I do, it's going to potentially spoil for if that does happen. If that does happen, I definitely know exactly what I would do. I definitely know exactly what would happen in my heart. But I can't tell you, because if something like that does happen, I don't want you guys to feel like you already know what's going to happen. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So I'm sorry, Shizno. Very amazing question. I cannot answer it. Because it might happen. I don't know. That might happen. You might be right on it. We might become enemies. We might have to fight to the death. I don't know. But so anyway, we'll see. Do you think if Advent goes more of an evil route, you'll incorporate the themes from your 3D live, like the Love Me or Die vibe? Maybe potentially. Because technically when I consider, I don't want to spoil too much of my actual lore. There's still things I haven't told you about myself that I think are obvious at this point, but I haven't said them out blatantly, so I don't want to. But maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I don't think the 3D live definitely was just a one-off though, but a lot of it still pulled from like lore places, so even though some of it wasn't official lore, like obviously Nerissa was not locked away in a book. She was locked away by gods, but she was locked away in the cell, not in a book. And she didn't have a forsaken temple. I lived in hell with my family, you know? So there's certain things that like obviously are not the same, but like there are some things that are technically, you know. Anyway, who do you support for who Gonathan will be with? Stay with his memory of his pearl, the black pearl Shiori, or someone else like the sapphire Tam or anything else. I can't think of what Gem Mori would be. I don't think Gonathan needs to be with anyone personally, and I think I've said this before, and this isn't at anyone, so don't take it out of context. But I feel like there's too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to love stuff. I feel like for me, again, I'm locked in. I'm not gonna swerve now because it wouldn't make sense for my story thing, but I think when sometimes you can have a really good arc. Like if my arc with Lady Bloodflame ended, I wouldn't feel the need to then go and like start up another love plot. Like I'd rather be more interested to find a different plot, and I feel like that's the case a lot, just having too many where everyone's just trying to date each other, I feel like it can end up being a little bit tiring, in my opinion. So I think, again, I'm locked into my Blood Raven love arc, but apart from that, I won't have any other love arcs. If that doesn't work out, I don't want to have any other love arcs. That's my big arc, and if it doesn't work out, then I'm not going to then be like, oh well, it's Shield Raven time. Oh well, it's time for a Jewel Bird to become, you know, like, I'm not gonna just like go and be like, well, time to find a different. I feel like it'd be better than to find something else. And obviously, I think at the end of the day, it's up to the girls to do what they want to do. So if they want to do that, I'm not going to try and be like, no one else should have. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying no one else should have a love plot or anything like that. But I just think for me, I personally don't mind if Jonathan with a G just goes off and does something else completely. Like, honestly, I think Jonathan for me for season 1 was very much like the main character of ENRECO. If I'm completely honest. So obviously losing his pearl is a very hard take, but I think I'm excited to see how Jonathan with the G pulls himself from the ashes and maybe takes a page out of Kiara's book and is reborn as an even better knight than he already is. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that plot, but I don't really ship Jonathan with a G with anyone, is what I'm saying. Besides the graduated, is there anyone from JPID or any other cover you wish was in ENRECO? Not really. I mean, ID is always fun, so I think it would be great, but I think ENRECO is already really big as it is. I think if ID were added, it would make it even more fun, but I think, for example, if JP were added, like, as a whole, because I feel like you couldn't just invite, like, 1 or 2 people, right? Like, it would have to be open for everyone. I wouldn't be against it, but I feel like then suddenly everything would get a lot more complicated. The time zones would get a lot worse. The POVs would be too many. I feel like having it just be an EN project is kind of fun. And again, I feel like adding an ID, I think could work. Not at this point. I think if it was done at the beginning of it, it could have worked. But again, it ends up with scheduling, because it's already difficult as is. You know, because you need to find a time that works for not only EN, but EN, then with that in mind, is everywhere. Is in the UK, or Europe rather, or like everywhere. Everyone's everywhere, you know? So you have to like be really considerate of the time zones. And even then, some people are still getting fucked over, you know? Like EU, you guys have it really bad during ENRECO season. I feel so bad for you guys. I feel so bad for EU bros during ENRECO, because I know that time zone is just awful, and I feel so bad for Liz, you know. Yeah, I feel bad for everyone. So I feel like putting more people into the mix would just continue to further complicate it, you know. So I feel like where it is now is fine. I feel like if it was a 1 season type event, then I feel like I'd be more open to something like that. But I feel like with how ENRECO is and how it is a continuous thing, I feel like it'd be hard. Maybe if we're like just adding in like a few people to just further bolster the plot, maybe like I would pick just probably from ID, and I would probably pick Kyla. If I had to pick only one, just because I feel like she would be able to come up with something really interesting that would involve everyone, that would be really crazy. Yeah, like a special guest, a special appearance guest. I feel like she'd be able to come up with something really insane. But I feel like pretty much all the ID members could do that. They usually make pretty fucking crazy builds. Okay, next question. Sorry, I'm going on too long. Where was I? Okay. Sidoni, relaying a question from my friend Soda. Regarding your intro with cards, what was the idea behind starting with Liz and ending with yourself and closing out the season with the cards flipped? You want the real answer? The first stream, it was a complete accident. I didn't mean to start or end on anyone specific. It just happened. I didn't even know. I noticed it after the fact. I went back and I watched the VOD and I saw that it started that way and ended that way, and I was like, holy shit. And I was like, you know, that's actually kind of perfect. That's kind of perfect, actually. So I'm just gonna keep this going. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it's symbolism. Because really, for me, for the Lady Bloodflame is a main player, the main player in my arc. So you're tugging. I wish I was tugging your leg. I'm so serious. It was not on purpose. Like, I knew it ended. I knew that it ended, but it wasn't like intentionally. Like, I realized as I was clicking to end the stream, I was like, oh, that's funny. I ended on. And then I went back and looked and I was like, oh my God. So then I had to then do the difficult job then of when I wanted it to start. I had to actually pause because I was like, ain't no way I'm getting that lucky again. Are you kidding? Yeah, it all worked out. Yeah, so there wasn't like a super duper like hard thing, you know? There wasn't. I'd like you to be the English teacher, be the high school English teacher who ponders why the door is blue. I need you to ponder it, and I want you to come to your own conclusion instead of asking me. Thank you, Soda. Now, having watched Monty Python, where do you get where Elizabeth's witch bit comes from? Yes, I do. I do get it now. By the way, the shrine being 6 blocks underground was a reference to 6 feet under. Yeah, like 6 feet, because that's how people refer to when they're dead. I don't know if I actually made it 6 blocks underground though. You'll have to go back and count because I don't think it was. Just checking in to say I love you so much. Thank you. What did you think of the dungeons this time around? Any favorite ones or least favorite? The time one looked really frustrating. I'm sorry, I do have to report the time one was my least favorite. I thought they were all pretty good though, but it just went on too long. It overstayed its welcome. You know what I'm saying? It overstayed its welcome is how I felt about it. Because some of them I felt like they went on and it was fine. It was fine. And I was okay with it, but I definitely felt like that one just went too long, the time one. Yeah, I felt like Baze was probably the most fun just because I felt like it didn't go on too long, and I could just do it, you know? I could just do it, and it was great. Iris's was also hard. It was really interesting though, and I really liked all the stories as always. They're always good. Always good. Next question. What are your thoughts on the Outlander and Princess Ephania clearly being siblings? They're not siblings, they're lovers, bro. Get it together. I did feel bad for Immerkind though. Immerkind is such a kind soul. So I felt really bad because I knew immediately, I was like, oh, they're lovers. Like, that's gonna be their thing, is that they're like in love with each other. And then Immerkind's like, I love the princess. I was like, oh, this can only end in heartache. It's so delicious. It was great. I loved it. But they're clearly not siblings. I'm sorry. All right, Risa, when you went quiet on the final day, what was that about? Care to explain what happened? Or is it because something that we might spoil for season 3? I was just leaning into the crazy bit. She had nothing to talk about, so she didn't say anything. She did her dailies and she did them silently, and that's it. There was nothing more needing to be said. That was all. That was all. Yeah, 5 minutes of staring at. I wanted to make you uncomfortable, but I didn't want to actually sit there for 5 minutes. So I thought that would be too much. I thought that would be too boring to like actually just sit there. But I was hoping to unnerve you. But like obviously again, the character reason was just she didn't have anything to say. I don't know if you've been asked about it already, but how do you feel regarding Elizabeth's apology and her pledge of loyalty to you? The pledge of loyalty was so sexy. I honestly didn't think she was going to. So when she did, I was like, oh, everything's going according to plan. And I was so happy. Her apology, it was very sincere. I liked it a lot. It made me happy. I feel like if it had happened earlier and I had not been predestined to be evil, I feel like it would have fixed everything. I feel like that apology, if it had just come a few days before, would have fixed me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that would have fixed me. She beat you with a stick. Exactly. She beat me with a stick. All I wanted was for our paintings to be together and for us to love each other, you know? But yeah, no, I thought it was all great, and I loved it. Again, it's that thing with like our characters being just out of sync, where she confessed that she was sorry and she pledged her loyalty to me, but at that point I was trying to get her to pledge loyalty so she would be forced to serve me because she's a powerful knight after all. And her apology meant nothing because I already didn't care. She was too late. You're too late, Lady Bloodflame. That's it. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Moving on. Since you've watched Liz's POV, was there anything in her intros that piqued your interest a lot? I don't want to talk too much about her perspective, but I do want to say a bit that Liz, this is something I'm not sure. I don't want to copy her, but I might take a page out of her book and try to do something similar. But Liz would go really hard with the intros, and she would write it the day before and turn it in, but then she'd actually record and like make a nice fun little video intros for all of hers. So highly recommend. It functions as both a recap but also, what's the word, an introspective for Lady Bloodflame. So if you don't watch her perspective, which you should at least go and watch the intros. Highly recommend, because they are just so good. She puts a lot of thought into them. There's a lot of character put into them, and it really pulled me in, is all I'm saying. Bloodraven is the best. I agree. Was Advent being corrupted in season 2 a response to the short-lived corruption arc? I don't actually know, because it wasn't decided by us, technically. It was decided by effectively the DM, right? So I don't actually know. I would imagine probably partially so, but I don't have a true answer for you, so I apologize. I apologize. You were probably like, yeah, I'm gonna get the explanation. I'm like, I don't have one. Okay. Since you've watched Liz POV, what do you think of her diary entry? Oh, you were also wanted to know, especially the ones where the UN was yearning for you. Sorry for the Bloodraven brainworms. I felt like a theater kid again, because it's all acting, but because you're locked in, it feels so real. And so I gained an even deeper respect and love than I already had for her in the real world. I might have, I'm in too deep. I'm in too deep. It's like, wow, she likes me. She likes me. She loves me. Yeah, it is what it is. Nerissa, I loved your entire arc for chapter 2 and the creative decisions you took. What do you think of how Elizabeth confronted Shiori over the memory she wrote for you? Did you see Liz on Shiori's stream? I did see that, and I did actually see from Liz's perspective because I watched it. I did like that she confronted her. I just love how everything is getting so juicy. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I had not told her about that confrontation wouldn't have happened. And now, I never thought bad of Shiori, of the novella, for doing that, right? Like, I never had any qualm with her. She just gave me a memory, and I have no reason to believe she's lying. She's not lied to me before. So, having that bit of tension and seeing her get so worked up about it and, like, feel the need to go and confront Shiori of the novella, you know, like, oh my god, I just like chef's kiss. It's so good. It was so good. And then, next question. Now that Advent has gone evil, or at least alternate methods, do you think there are any other members you'd be able to use connections to convince to your side, and who? Again, I feel like this is a hard question to answer because I don't want to potentially spoil, because I don't know at the end of the day what's going to happen. But if something happens, especially with other members, I don't want someone to then be like, oh, well, Nerissa told us that this was going to happen, you know, or something like that, even if it's just me speculating. I have no idea. And I hope, I obviously have my hopes that there's some people who might want to help out Advent with our alternative methods, but I don't actually know how it's going to go down. I don't know. It could end up just being us against the world, baby. And that's usually how it is for Advent. So we're all good with that. But it could end up just being Advent only. It could end up being some people joining our side and thinking that maybe we might be going in the right direction. We might know the way, but I don't know yet. And I don't think anyone else is probably thinking about it too hard yet either, because I don't even know when chapter 3 is going to be. So let's all be excited together. And that is the last question. It makes me so happy to be able to answer all these questions for you guys and being able to see the things that made you guys excited and the things you wanted to know and think about things that I probably wouldn't have thought about. But I hope you enjoyed getting to hear about ENRECO, getting to hear a little bit about how I was feeling about it and thinking about it, because it was great. I had a hell of a time, and I just genuinely, I can't wait. I can't wait for next time. I need it to come like tomorrow. I need it to arrive already. I would like part 3 to happen now, please and thank you. So anyway, there's no stream tomorrow, but I do need to shill. So I hope you guys will listen to my shill. I know some of you are already clicking off the stream now because I said that. Please watch my live if you haven't already. I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, now is the time to watch my hashtag Requiem for Love 3D. Also, Rondo Revolution just hit 500,000 views, so thank you guys so much for listening to my duet cover with Liz. Obviously, we all love Blood Raven here, so please keep streaming it. Let's go for 1 million. Eventually. It'll take a while, but let's reach for it. Let's reach for the stars. I must shill to you. Please buy my merch if you can afford it. I know it's expensive, and I know it's the shipping, and I know some of you want and probably are not buying it just because you can't, but there's still limited sets left. I'm going to be signing all your cards, and I'm going to sign all of them. So if you could please, if you want the limited set, if you could buy it, I would appreciate it, because they're still not sold out. But this merch drop is really hot. Or if you can't afford that and you don't want the limited set, just buying any of the merch that interests you is also fine individually. Please buy. It's pinned. I'd love if you check it out. If you are interested. I should have had this on the screen. I got a shill. Oh. My son is trying to get in the room. Oh, he got in. Come on, little boy. I set up a chair so he can sit by me. So I pat on it so he knows he's welcome. My little darling. But anyway, yes. Thank you guys so much. I really had a good time talking about ENRECO with you guys all today. Please don't forget to stream my covers, my live. Also coming out tomorrow is the creditless version of Meltdown. Today, Boca della Verita came out, the creditless version. But obviously, I would appreciate if you keep streaming the live in total, because we're at about 350,000 views. It'd be cool if it could hit 400k. So please keep listening to both of those things. I would appreciate it. So anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for coming out today and for talking about ENRECO with me and for asking me questions so we can keep bouncing off of each other. It makes it a lot easier for me rather than to just try and come up with my own, because I'll just word vomit all over the place. So it means a lot to me and I appreciate it. I appreciate you and I hope to see you all next time. But for now, bye, darlings.